Chris Markowski is joining me now. He's the host of Watchdog on Wall Street, as well as the founder of Markowski Investments. Chris, thanks so much for joining me today. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Samantha. Great to see you again.
Now, as per usual, we are going to talk about the jobs report, and it's being reported that we actually saw a negative, a loss of 140,000 jobs, but the unemployment rate remained at 6.7%. Can you walk us through these numbers?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think it should be unexpected that the numbers were going to get worse. I think they had a plus 50,000 print, but it was obviously much worse than they had. I mean, I've seen it. I've gone out on my little recon missions. It's cold here in New York. It's really cold. It's cold in Washington. It's cold in other areas of the country. So many of the places that are still in lockdown mode, obviously they're cutting staff for restaurants, bars, other places of entertainment. There's also the recognition that many of these places are just not going to come back. They've run out of their PPP money. They've spent everything that they have, and they're not going to reopen. It's sad, but I take a look at a list every month of all these great restaurants that I used to go to in New York on a regular basis that are going to be no longer. They're shutting down for good. And it's not even just here. Tourism in general is obviously hurt areas of the country. You go down to Florida, for instance, and you see certain areas, the Tampa, St. Petersburg market, phenomenally great with hotels, but it's mostly residential. The tourists are not there at those levels. I went out and I took a look at Orlando, and I felt like little Danny Torrance from The Shining. I needed my big wheels to be riding through some of the hallways of these hotels, and some ghost was going to pop out of nowhere. There's nobody there. And that whole conference business and all of that stuff, the corporate things that used to go on there, they don't exist. So this shouldn't be unexpected at all. The only way we're going to come back is we open up these states.
And do you expect us to be opening up anytime soon? I mean, we have the vaccine, it's being rolled out, but what's your perspective on that?
I'm not confident right now. I'm not. I think Florida and I think the states already open are going to stay the same. I'm more inclined, and it could go either way, to see that maybe states like California and New York, the numbers tick up, that they might try to shut down again. But again, that's basically it. That's the nail in the coffin for a ton of businesses that will never, ever reopen. It's a shame. The rollout of the vaccine has been terrible. Terrible. It's amazing to me. You've got these great businesses you can model after. You go by a Chick-fil-A and you see how packed that place is and how they go about getting the food out to the people. Or you take a look at, we have Walgreens and CVS on almost every corner. Why not use that infrastructure that already exists to get the vaccine out? And yet we have all these vaccines that are just sitting there on the shelves. And politicians, you got the governor of New York getting mad at the mayor of New York City and threatening fines if it's not done the right way. And then, if you do it the wrong way, then we're going to fine you. I mean, it's not productive at all. It's not done in a business like fashion. And that's, of course, because it's done by bureaucrats. Again, you go to a DMV, you'll understand.
Just in terms of, Washington, D.C., obviously this week we had Joe Biden being certified as president. His administration will be taking over in just a few weeks. And we also had the Senate races on Tuesday, showing that now there will be a split 50-50 in the Senate. And Republicans are, not in the majority in any, the House, the Senate, or the White House. Obviously, they don't have that. So is that at all being reflected in the market so far, better or for worse?
Well, I think the markets are expecting another round of stimulus, and a major stimulus. And I've seen estimates anywhere between $700 billion to over $900 billion. So there's going to be a lot of cash floating around all over the place, which has definitely helped the markets. Also, certain industries, obviously green companies, are going to see a lot of this extra money as well. Infrastructure, obviously, that's another one of the big on the wish list for the Democrats at this point in time. But I also think that, what Joe Biden put forward in regards to his tax plan. Now, I want to remind everybody, it's not like other things that go through the Senate. That's just a simple majority. It's not 60 votes. It's only 51 votes to get any of the tax policy passed. I don't think they're going to go full out what he wanted to do, especially during a pandemic. I think you might see some bits and pieces. Probably you might see the deduction come back for state and local taxes, which will benefit blue states a great deal. So I think it's going to help there. I think you're going to see some targeted tax hikes here and there, but I don't think you'll see them go all in, simply because, again, they remember what happened, quite frankly, in 2010, in the midterms, when they got wiped out. And there's that, underlying theme under there where you got a large swath of the population that is none too happy about this election. Many of them still don't believe that the election is legitimate or was legitimate, and are going to be still looking to do something different next time around.
Yes, well, it will certainly be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. More generally speaking, what do let's look at Joe Biden's first 100 days. What are you anticipating that to look like in terms of the economy and the market?
Well, I think that right away they're going to be focused. That's the first things first. They're going to be focused on getting a stimulus package through. Again, I also going to get with that stimulus package. You're going to see bailouts going to states like New York and Illinois and California and some of the other blue states out there. They're going to be getting a lot of money, so they're going to be thrilled to have that happen. After that, I do think he might be focusing, and it's, again, got a lot of union companies out there focusing on infrastructure and try to keep things as positive as he possibly can. I think any sort of tax hikes, in my opinion, at least politically, it wouldn't be smart to be doing it in 2021. That might get pushed out to the latter parts of 2021 into 2022.
Well, Chris, we shall see what happens over the next couple of weeks and months under the Biden administration. Of course, love to have you back on for the next jobs report. It's always great to have you on. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Samantha. Appreciate it.